Patricia, I am so sorry. Your insurance coverage was canceled this morning at 7:43.
What? No, my mother is the plan administrator. She wouldn't cancel it. Not today.
Nurse Pam turned the tablet toward her. The screen displayed a stark red alert. Insurance canceled. Effective 7:43 a.m. Canceled by plan administrator.
7:43. Mom was on the phone with the insurance company while I was in admitting. She knew I was being prepped.
Patricia's hand trembled as she took the pen. She signed the private pay waiver, accepting full financial liability for the surgery.
We have to proceed, Patricia. The OR is ready. We'll deal with the billing afterwards.
I can't let this stop me. My body needs this surgery. I'll figure out the money later.
The intake form showed the estimated cost, $47,000. No insurance discount, no in-network rate, just her name next to a terrifying number.
I am wheeling you in now. Just focus on getting better. The financial team will work with you.
As the anesthetic took effect, the question hung unanswered. Who canceled Patricia's insurance hours before her surgery? And why? 3 hours before the surgery, in a home office across town, Linda was already on the phone with the insurer.
Yes, I am the plan administrator. Cancel the dependent coverage for Patricia. Effective immediately.
The customer service screen lit up. The cursor clicked. Cancel dependent coverage. Then switched to a new enrollment page for Joseph's premium gym membership.
Add the fitness package for my son. He's been begging for it. There's only one family slot, and he'll actually use it.
Across the city, Joseph swaggered through the glass doors of a high-end gym, his new membership card clutched in his hand.
Finally, Mom came through. This place has everything.
Linda hung up the phone and leaned back, a thin smile on her lips. She'd made a practical decision. Patricia's insurance wasn't reinstated. Joseph's gym tag activated at 8:02 a.m. while his sister lay sedated on the operating table. Linda's calendar had a reminder. Gym membership starts today. No note about the surgery. The question wasn't just who. It was how a mother could trade her daughter's health for gym perks. Hours later, Patricia's eyes fluttered open in the recovery room, the fog of anesthesia still thick.
The surgery. Did it go okay? Why does the nurse look like that?
Patricia, the surgery went well. But we need to talk about your insurance. The cancellation is confirmed.
Confirmed? So it wasn't a mistake? Who did it?
The planned administrator. The system lists your mother, Linda. She called and canceled the dependent coverage this morning.
Number. Not her. She knew I was being prepped. She knew. My mother canceled my insurance? For what? Why would she do that?
I am so sorry. The record shows she called the insurer directly at 7:43. It can't be undone without her.
She left me with $47,000 in debt. For what?
The name on the screen wasn't a stranger. It was the one person who was supposed to protect her. Later that day, Linda leaned against her kitchen counter, phone at her ear. Voice smooth with justification.
People don't get it. Patricia never used the insurance anyway. Joseph has a real need. She's an adult. She can figure out her own health care. I did her a favor, honestly.
In the hospital billing office, a clerk processed Patricia as private pay, entering the surgery codes. The system scanned the details. Cancellation time, 7:43 a.m. Plan administrator listed as parent. A red pop-up appeared. Automatic review triggered. Charity care eligibility check required. The flag didn't erase the $47,000. But it was the first thread of a safety net. The software had been updated 6 months ago to catch same-day cancellations on adult dependents. Back in her kitchen, Linda hadn't mentioned the surgery to her friend. Not once in the entire call. The hospital's algorithm flagged Patricia's file. It would wait for a human to pick up the thread. 4 days after her surgery, Patricia sat on her couch and opened the hospital's patient portal.
I need to see the number. Just rip the bandage off.
Current balance, $47,000. No insurance discount applied. Payment due in full.
47,000? That can't be right. There has to be a mistake.
Her thumb trembled over the contact labeled Mom. She needed answers, even if she already knew the truth.
Mom, I know you canceled it. Pick up. We need to talk about this.
Across town, Linda's phone buzzed on the kitchen counter. Patricia's name glowed on the screen.
She'll calm down. She always does. I don't owe her an explanation right now.
The call rang 6 times before voicemail. Patricia didn't leave a message. The silence said everything. As the afternoon light faded, the bill's number burned into her mind, $47,000, and no one to call. Down the hall from the recovery wing, in a quiet billing office, Miss Margaret was already investigating. Her screen showed 3 flagged accounts, all same-day cancellations by a parent administrator.
3 times since January. Each time, the cancellation hits the morning of a scheduled procedure. That's not coincidence.
She clicked on Patricia's file first. The timestamp, 7:43 a.m. Plan administrator, Linda. Relationship, mother.
A mother cancels her daughter's surgery coverage to fund a gym membership. This deserves a closer look.
2 more flagged files. A father funded a motorcycle repair. A mother bought a cruise deposit. Both canceled their child's insurance on the morning of treatment.
3 families, identical timing. Someone is gaming the system.
She opened the hospital's charity care policy. Section 4, paragraph 2. Same-day cancellation by a parent triggers automatic review.
Patricia's case fits the trigger. I'll open a review file. Let's see where this leads.
Margaret saved the 3 files into a new investigation folder. Patricia had no idea an ally inside the hospital was already assembling her defense. The next morning, a financial counselor called Patricia into a small office at the hospital. Miss Patricia, your balance stands at $47,000. Without insurance, payment is due in full.
Due in full? How am I supposed to pay that? I make $40,000 a year.
She offered a 24-month plan with 9% interest, or a 36-month loan secured against Patricia's car.
That's still $700 a month. I can barely afford my rent.
With a same-day cancellation and a parent as administrator, financial assistance is unlikely. The review process is long.
So, there's really no way out. I am going to drown in this.
The counselor pushed a stack of brochures across the table, each one outlining a different version of debt.
My own mother did this, and no one can help me.
She left the office with the brochures clutched to her chest, each breath feeling like a conscious effort. 2 days later, Margaret gathered 2 senior staffers in a small conference room.
I have 3 flagged accounts. All were canceled by a parent on the morning of a procedure. This isn't accidental. The policy is clear. Same-day cancellations by a parent trigger automatic review, but we need to act before the system fumbles.
She projected the 3 files on the wall, one of them Patricia's, and circled the cancellation timestamps.
This one, a mother canceled her daughter's gallbladder surgery to fund a gym membership. I want an emergency charity care review opened.
A staffer voiced concern about setting a precedent, but Margaret's response was clipped and final. She opened the charity care application on her tablet, the same-day cancellation trigger box already checked.
The form is ready. Now I need to push it through before the billing department sends a collections notice.
Margaret signed the top of the form and passed it across the table for staff initials. By noon, Patricia's name was attached to a file marked Pending Review, Charity Care Eligibility, and the system began its work. The next morning, Patricia was discharged. She stepped into the sunlight, bag in hand, the debt pressing heavier than any incision.
Patricia, I heard billing say your case triggered a review. Something about the cancellation time. Hang on to that.
A review? I still owe $47,000. What could a review possibly change?
That afternoon, curled on her couch, her phone lit up with Joseph's name. She almost let it ring.
Joseph? Why are you calling me?
What did you do, Patricia? The gym just suspended my membership. They said it's because of an insurance investigation.
Your gym membership? My insurance was canceled the day of my surgery. What does that have to do with me? 7:43 a.m. Mom canceled my insurance. The same day, Joseph started a premium gym membership. She traded my health.
The revelation landed cold and precise. Her mother had chosen a gym membership over her daughter's gallbladder surgery. Joseph hung up in anger, but Patricia stayed motionless, the full architecture of her mother's betrayal finally clear. 2 hours later, As dusk settled outside her window, Patricia's phone rang with an unfamiliar hospital extension.
Hello? Who is this?
Miss Patricia, this is Miss Margaret, billing director at the hospital. I am reviewing your insurance cancellation.
You are reviewing it? That's great, but I signed a waiver. I owe $47,000. What can you do?
Our hospital has a charity care policy. Same-day cancellations by a parent trigger an automatic review. Your case qualifies. I am also applying for emergency Medicaid retroactive coverage to absorb the gap. You won't be billed while it processes.
Medicaid? Is this real? Can they really do that?
It's not final, but I've seen this work before. The state reviews quickly in cases like this.
Patricia's voice broke. For the first time since the surgery, she wasn't alone under the weight. The emergency Medicaid application was now in the state's hands. Patricia finally had something she'd lost that morning in pre-op: hope. The next morning, Margaret placed the signed Medicaid forms into the hospital's document scanner, the machine humming as it ingested the pages. She then opened the insurance commissioner's referral portal and typed, "Plan administrator fraud. Family plan canceled on morning of surgery. Slot reassigned to gym membership." A message from Miss Margaret lit up her phone. Medicaid filed. Commissioner referral submitted. We wait.
They're going after my mother. And for once, I don't feel guilty.
Patricia immediately called her best friend Kayla, her voice unsteady but tinged with something like joy.
Kayla, listen. The hospital billing director called me herself. There's a policy that could wipe my entire bill, and she filed a fraud report against my mom. Someone finally believed me. I might actually get out of this without drowning in debt.
For the first time since waking from surgery, Patricia allowed herself to believe the system might work. By noon, the investigation was officially open. Linda's name was now flagged in a state database for insurance fraud. 2 days later, Linda opened her mailbox to find an envelope with the state seal and the words "Insurance Commissioner, Fraud Unit."
Fraud unit. They can't possibly have opened a case. It was a simple plan change.
Dear Mrs. Linda, we are investigating the cancellation of dependent coverage on the morning of your daughter's gallbladder surgery. Please contact our office immediately. Linda's fingers fumbled on her phone, dialing Patricia within seconds of reading the letter.
She knows about the investigation. I could let it ring. But I want to hear what she says. What do you want, Mom?
Patricia, you have to call the insurance commissioner and tell them it was a misunderstanding. They're investigating me.
It's not a misunderstanding. You canceled my insurance and gave Joseph a gym membership instead, on the morning of my surgery.
I am your mother. You can't let them destroy me over this. Just make the call, Patricia. Please.
You destroyed me first. I am not protecting you anymore. Goodbye, Linda.
An hour later, pounding on Patricia's front door broke the silence. Joseph's voice cut through the wood, raw and angry.
Open the door, Patricia. We're not done talking about this.
He came here. Mom sent him. She'll never stop.
Patricia unlocked the door. Joseph pushed past her into the living room, his gym bag still slung over his shoulder.
My membership is suspended, and the insurance commissioner is investigating Mom. You told them she committed fraud?
I didn't have to tell them anything. The hospital system flagged the pattern. She did this to herself, Joseph.
She just wanted me to have something nice. You are the selfish one. You've always resented me.
He still doesn't get it. He never will.
She didn't answer. She walked to the door and held it open. Her gaze steady and cold, she slammed the door behind him, leaned her back against the wood, and shut her eyes tightly. The apartment fell silent. 3 days after Joseph's visit, Patricia opened her laptop and logged into the hospital patient portal. She hadn't checked it in a week, afraid of the number she'd find. Current balance, $0. Status, pending Medicaid reimbursement.
0. The Medicaid application went through. I am not buried after all.
She sat back on her couch, staring at the screen until the numbers blurred. The $47,000 weight dissolved, leaving something she hadn't felt in weeks: lightness. Across town that afternoon, Linda walked through the heavy glass doors of the state insurance commissioner's office, her heels clicking on the marble floor.
I can talk my way out of this. I always have.
A sterile interview room waited. The investigator gestured to a chair, a tape recorder already blinking red on the table. The investigator opened a thick file. Patricia's cancellation records and Joseph's gym membership details clearly visible. The investigator leaned forward and asked, "Why did you cancel your daughter's insurance on the morning of her surgery?"
They have everything. I'm going to need a lawyer.
That evening, Patricia pulled a worn cardboard box from her closet filled with old photos.
My life before all this. I need to remember who I was before she redefined me.
She paused at a faded photo of herself at 10, beaming beside Linda, whose hand gripped her shoulder.
In that picture, I looked happy, but even then, she was holding on too tight.
She flipped to a photo of her and Joseph at a barbecue before the surgery.
She chose Joseph's gym over my health, and he still defends her. I am done being the peacemaker.
Patricia set the photo aside and reached for her leather-bound journal.
The commissioner will mail a final letter soon. I am not calling to soften the blow. Not this time.
Her pen pressed hard into the page, the ink bleeding slightly as she wrote, "I am done protecting her." She closed the journal and laid the photo of Linda's tight grip on top. A closing. 3 weeks later, Patricia opened her mailbox and found 2 envelopes, one with the hospital logo, the other with the state seal. She tore open the hospital envelope first, her pulse quickening. The statement was one line, total due, $0.
It's real. The charity care went through. I am free.
Then she opened the letter from the insurance commissioner. Her hands shook as she unfolded the heavy paper. Family Plan Administrator fraud case against Linda has been opened. Joseph's gym membership suspended pending refund.
She lost. The commissioner actually believed me.
Patricia read the letter twice, then pressed it against her chest. The official word had arrived. For the first time since the morning of her surgery, Patricia felt the ground steady beneath her feet. 2 pieces of paper, one erasing her debt, the other holding her mother to account.
You won't believe the mail I just got. $0 and a fraud case against my mom.
As she ended the call, her phone screen lit up again. This time, the caller ID read Mom. She didn't answer. The calls kept coming, one after another, 7 notifications stacked on her screen within an hour.
She got her copy of the letter. Now she's panicking.
Patricia tapped the voicemail icon. Linda's voice filled the room, raw and cracking.
Patricia, please. They're going to ruin me. I can't lose everything. Just call the commissioner and tell them you asked me to do it. I am your mother. You owe me this. Pick up the phone. Please, Patricia.
Patricia listened to the entire message, her jaw set. When it ended, silence filled the room.
Still asking me to lie for her. She's not sorry. She's just caught.
She deleted the voicemail without saving it and switched her phone to silent. The calls would keep coming, but she was done over the weekend. The calls didn't stop. By Sunday evening, her call log showed 22 missed calls from Mom.
22 calls in 2 days. She's frantic.
Patricia opened the hospital patient portal on her laptop. The $0 statement was still there, unchanged. She clicked print. The home printer hummed to life, feeding out a single sheet. The page read, "Total due, $0 in bold," at the top. Below it, her name and the surgery date. Patricia pulled a yellow sticky note from her desk drawer and pressed it flat on the table.
Thanks for the upgrade.
She folded the bill and note, slid them into the envelope, and ran her tongue along the seal.
I am not angry anymore. Just finished.
Tomorrow, she would walk to the mailbox. Tonight, she rested, knowing the envelope carried more than paper. On Monday morning, Patricia walked to the corner mailbox and dropped her envelope inside. 2 days later, Linda tore open the hand-addressed envelope. Inside, a hospital bill and a sticky note. The bill read, "Total due, $0. Below it, her daughter's handwriting, "Thanks for the upgrade." Linda's face drained of color. Her grip on the paper tightened until her knuckles went white. Within 5 minutes, her phone was in her hand, dialing Patricia's number with trembling fingers.
I knew you'd call. You got my message. I take it.
How dare you send me this? You are enjoying this, aren't you?
You bet on my suffering, and you lost. That's all this is.
She hung up. Linda stood frozen, The $0 bill on the floor, the note crumpled in her hand. There was nothing left to say. The room felt cold, and the note was the only truth left between them. 20 minutes later, Linda's phone buzzed again. This time, the screen read D Debt Collector, GM membership. The gym had canceled the membership, but the annual contract wasn't forgiven. The charges kept coming.
I am being chased for a membership Joseph never used. For a surgery Patricia never asked to pay for.
She let the call go to voicemail. The room fell silent again, the only light a dull amber from a single lamp. Her gaze fell on the side table. A framed photo of young Patricia and Joseph, taken a decade ago, still stood there. She reached for the frame, then stopped. Her hand hovered, trembling, and pulled back. The $0 bill still lay crumpled on the floor. The sticky note had fallen beside it, the words barely visible in the dim light. She had traded both her children for a gym membership, and now she sat in the ruins of that choice. No one was calling to forgive her. Not Patricia, not the insurance commissioner, not even Joseph. The only sound was the distant buzz of the phone, and the note still saying what Patricia would never say aloud again. A week later, Patricia sat at a sunlit outdoor cafe, sunglasses pushed into her hair, a latte steaming beside her.
I haven't felt this light in years. The surgery, the bill, my mother, all of it behind me. I am serious. I am using that $47,000 I would have owed for a vacation. Beach, sand, no phone calls from Linda.
Across the table, her friend laughed hard, nearly spilling her coffee. Patricia smiled, the kind of smile that comes from real release. She lifted her cup, tilted it toward her friend, and gave a small toast.
To upgrades.
Her phone screen was already open to a travel site, a beachfront booking glowing in the sun.
I am going. I am actually going. No debt, no guilt, just a plane ticket with my name on it.
The afternoon stretched warm and unhurried. Patricia wasn't a victim, wasn't a daughter, wasn't a patient. She was just a woman with a coffee and a future. And that was the real upgrade. In her quiet office, Miss Margaret lifted a new folder from her desk. The label read, Patricia. Resolved.
One more closed. The system caught it, and we didn't let her fall through the cracks.
She pinned the folder onto a corkboard already crowded with similar cases, each a life unburdened by medical debt.
The policy worked. That's why we pushed for it.
Margaret stepped to the window and looked out at the hospital courtyard, the afternoon sun catching the silver in her hair.
Patricia doesn't know my name, and she never needs to. That's not the point.
Somewhere across the city, Patricia was toasting to an upgrade, and in this quiet office, the woman who made it possible allowed herself a rare, full smile. The hospital's billing system had not just caught a fraud, it had given a daughter her life back. Margaret stayed at the window until the sun dipped below the roofline. Then she returned to her desk and opened the next file. Justice, she'd learned, wasn't always a courtroom. Sometimes it was a billing director who recognized a pattern and refused to look away.